Trump has floated the idea of leaving NATO and the UN. What do you think would happen if Trump were to take that action?
The best positive outcome would be that Europe would become very strong. Europe can become
Hmm.
stronger than America economically, intellectually, spiritually, and should become stronger than America. Instead of being dependent upon America, the Trump, the U.S. leaving um, Europe, that you look after yourself,
Right.
is is gives an opportunity to Europe to become more cohesive,
Yeah.
to become stronger economically, militarily.
Right.
But I hope that Europe was fighting wars. Both the world wars were essentially European wars with Japan thrown into it. These were European wars. They have learned to live with each other, work
Hmm.
together. They now need the grace to reach out to Russia and not see Russia as an enemy, but befriend Russia.
Right.
So yes, you should become strong because Russia is a threat today. Tomorrow it could be Turkey. Day after tomorrow it could be France.
Right.
You could have different countries or Iran becoming a threat. If Iran revives the Persian Empire of old, the Persian Empire was a big threat to Greece. So Europe, America is saying, okay, we've had enough 75 years of NATO. We're now withdrawing. You take responsibility for your own development um, and your own security. But to be secure, you need to build your nuclear weapons and other weapons, sure, but you also need to build diplomatic, friendly relations with Russia's.
Yeah.
Why do you have to keep treating Russia as an enemy?
Right. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, I think, if Trump does that, whether Europe is immediately able to stand or kind of falls over first, given that there's so much reliance on the U.S. at the moment and that much of Europe's leaders are corrupt and they're trying. I mean, Europe just promised $800 billion more in military budget, which is insane considering like people in Germany. There were thousands and thousands of people in Germany who died over the last winter because they didn't have enough energy, they didn't have enough money to fight back the cold. It'll be interesting to see what will happen if Europe will kind of have to self-implode, especially with the immigration of Muslims as well,
Yeah.
and then rise from the ashes, or if Europe will be able to get itself into gear without the influence of America, especially given that Europe really hates America. I think Europe sees America as like the crackhead neighbor that somehow inherited $1 trillion, and so it'll be interesting to see how that pride plays out in the long run.
Well, in theory, there will be a lot of short-term problems and adjustments because the question of a leadership, who is to lead, and given the history of the world wars, can you really trust Germany becoming a military power, or France becoming a military power, or Britain becoming a military power, given the
Right.
previous imperial history? Uh, all of those challenges will be there. But let's say, for the best case scenario, that those challenges are overcome and Europe is able to become an economic powerhouse. It can. It has the intelligence, it has the infrastructure.
Right. Yeah.
If it can become an intellectual powerhouse, technological, innovative powerhouse, if it can become a military powerhouse, but it also will need the wisdom to be friends with Russia and America.
Hmm.
There is there is no sense in cultivating hatred and
Right.
animosities.